touch these. So baby, let me talk my shit, or I might just throw another fit. You know I can't help but these, cause they know they can never touch these. So baby, let me talk my shit, or I might just throw another fit.
Yo! Yo! このものバズーカロロノアゾロ
Go forth and prevail.
Go! Go! Go, Web, go!
Nobody's getting hurt.
Gamer community is from globally. We have from Latin America, we have from Asia, as well as USA and also Europe. So I think this is one of the very key distinctions that we have and we can bring onto the table for Web3 gaming.
So baby, let me talk my shit, or I might just throw another fit.
Maraming mga opportunities sa Web3 eh. You can start from knowing what is wallet, something like that, right? What is token? What is crypto? From there, kung gamers kayo at heart, you can onboard yourself or your friends.
Let me tell them one time, I've been on the grind, this my prime. Let me tell them one time, I've been on the grind.
Talking to you as students, as our fellow community members in Metaversity and YGG is really helping us to shape a much larger program for education for Web3 and really providing more of these economic opportunities to as many Filipinos as we can.
I already knew that I wanted to be involved in video games. Alam ko parang naisip ko habang naglalaro ako ng mga games na to, sino ba yung gumagawa ng mga games na to? Paano ba siyang ginagawa? So when I graduated in 2000, I knew I wanted to become a game developer.
Again, we have two options on how you can trade cash or crypto sa CoinsPH. First, you can use the spot trade, and second, you can use the buy and sell feature.
I've been on the grind, and this is my prime. Let me tell them one time. Sit them all in my prime. Let me tell them one time. I've been on the grind, feeling real good, yeah, all in my prime. It's about that time. Say your goodbyes, 'cause ain't no match for the way that I grind, yeah, I'm all in my prime.
Hey guys, GM, how you guys doing?
Doing great, Sedano.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, guys? GM to everyone, especially those on the YGG Discord. We are about to hit 300 live viewers and across the board. If you guys are watching from Twitter, Facebook, or wherever, YouTube, Twitch, make sure to hit that follow and share the stream as well, because it's one of our favorite AMAs. Every time we do these kinds of stuff, it's Gap Season 6 Fallen. I know you've been heads down working on all these surprises for the community. But before we jump in, right, so first of all, thank you to everyone who has joined us in the YGG Filipinas road trip over the weekend. It's been insane. And yeah, super fun. Gabby, what do you think about last weekend?
Yeah, it was amazing. A lot of people came. We filled up the Trinoma Activity Center. We had a lot of amazing cosplayers. We had a band, Lola More play. We had a lot of really good games. It was a blast.
Yep, and yeah, lots of bots definitely. IRL. But yeah, Fallen, I think we've hyped up Gap Season 6 more than enough. All of the guys over in the YGG Road Trip were asking more about, what we have in store for them. But I guess this is what we are here for tonight. So, Fallen, the floor is yours. Take it away.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, just like to mention, I'm so jealous of you guys all with the IRL events. I keep seeing how hype out there. I'm like, oh man, I should be there. So, like you were saying, Gabby, hopefully in November, maybe we'll see a fallen corpses in the flesh.
Maybe we'll see a face reveal.
Yeah, exactly. But on that note, right, the stream is for Gap Season 6, kind of going over what's new for Season 6. We're going to have a little bit of recap for Season 5 as well. The team has been heads down working on your feedback there that we got from Season 5, trying to bring that into Season 6. And, we've just been working away, and we hope everybody's really happy with the improvements that we've made for Season 6. And obviously, this is not the final form. We're still evolving season to season, and there's lots more to come. So for Season 7, expect even more updates. On that note, Gabby, do you have any key highlights that you wanted to go over for Season 5 or things that stuck out to you? I know I have some metrics here, but I'd just love to, hear off the top of your head what you thought about Season 5 yourself.
Yeah, so for Season 5, the biggest thing on our end is that we launched the new version of our questing platform. Internally, we're calling it V3. And we actually did a stealth launch. And of course, people in our community found out within the hour. So it wasn't really stealthy. But we kind of held back on the number of games and the number of quests because we wanted to test if the platform would be stable. And it ended up being stable. And now for Season 6, I think we're doing just a lot more with more games, more quests, and more features, which we'll probably be talking about later.
Yeah, there's a lot to cover here. That big shift to this kind of monthly schedule, I think, was well received by the community. A little caught off guard because they were confused because we usually do 3 months a quarter or so. But I think the monthly schedule is allowing us to be a lot more free flowing with the games that we put in and put out. I know a lot of people were, kind of asking, hey, why is my game not here? Is it going to come back? And this monthly schedule really allows us to, rotate maybe one game out, figure out what works, what doesn't work, and then rotate it in another season. So just because you don't see a game here doesn't mean that it's not going to show up in another season. I think that's a key point to kind of put in.
Yeah. For Season 4, it was actually getting a little bit unwieldy in the sense that we were getting locked into a 3-month season, and in crypto things change so fast, right? And the prices of tokens could be very different. What would be relevant in games would be very different. So we wanted to be more responsive, which accounts for the shorter season. Also, a lot of the work piles up on us, especially on Fallen, the community team, with a lot of games in a 3-month season. So with us wanting to be more responsive to the market, not being locked in and just being able to do 3-4 seasons in a year, that was desire of doing quicker turnarounds, which means that we may see a different lineup of games. We may see some games rotate in or out, and then we're playing with different questing formats so that you actually might see more types of quests in the future rather than just a gap or a super quest.
Exactly. So last season, we had well over 8,000 users come in versus Season 4. We only had about 4,000 or so. We've distributed over 13K of those soulbound tokens and over 320K of YGG tokens distributed. So, that's a drastic change from obviously Gap Season 4. And I'm sure Gap Season 6 here, because we have so many more games, right? Which is one of the key feedbacks that we got for Season 5 was, where are the games, right? We want more and more games. We want more quests, more variety. And I think with Season 6, we've doubled the quests, possibly, if you look at that. we definitely have a lot more games, a lot more exciting games, in my opinion. Not saying that season 5 games weren't exciting, but we have Parallel, we have GOG, right? We've got a lot of these top ones, as well as some returning ones like
Some
Pixels.
some games that our community had already been playing a lot, like Parallel. We've been playing since last year. GOG since launch on May 15th, right? And then some new entries like Bullet League. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting mix of games.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm super stoked. A lot of these games I've been playing, GOG, Parallel, Pixels, Nifty Island, those are all big ones that I've been playing kind of nonstop. And it's really exciting, especially with all these games really coming out, right? GLG just launched their stuff. Cypher, we're waiting for Cypher here. I know a lot of the community's hyped about that. But we've got some really good, well-polished games coming through, which, wasn't the case when we started Gap, right? We were kind of just working with what we had there. So on that note, let's shift gears and let's actually dive into season 6. What's new for it? What are the changes that people can expect? I know the big one is Premium Quest, so maybe Gabby, let's just talk about Premium Quest out the gate.
Yeah, so Premium Quest is something that we've wanted to do for a while. So it's basically like a season pass or a battle pass. And for this, you pay 25 YGG right now only on via Polygon, although that may expand later on, to buy the season pass. And then that gives you access to different rewards that aren't available to those that are on the free questing here, right? And what's exciting about this is that it adds additional utility to the YGG token, number one. All of the YGG tokens that are paid for the season pass gets burned, so it actually reduces the circulating supply. And we add different rewards for the games that are here. You want to talk, Fallen, about what they can expect from for season pass holders for this season?
Yeah, so we've worked really hard with our partners to put up some additional rewards that are well outside of the general rewards of YGG tokens, which you'll still get. You'll still get YGG token, obviously, for completing these quests. But for a lot of these other, for the premium quests, you'll have either the opportunity or the straight reward for something better. So I know for Bullet League, a bunch of the quests, you're getting skins, you're getting, custom packs or stuff outside of that. Pixels, you're going to be in a raffle for a Pixels pet, right? And I don't know what pets are going for right now, but they're pretty high value there. So again, you can expect way better rewards specifically for that game that you're playing by doing these premium quests.
Yeah, that's right. We have premium quest rewards available in Guild of Guardians, Nine Chronicles, Parallel, Nifty, Pixels, Rumble Racing Star. So pretty much all of the games have some rewards available. The creator bounty also has rewards, and also in the game testing track we do have rewards. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in store for only 25 YGG.
Exactly, and I know we were floating the idea of having like each quest have to pay YGG, but I think this idea of us going with an overall like battle pass is essentially a battle pass, right? We premium pass, but it's a battle pass, right? And people, you pay that one time, the tokens are burned, and I think that's a big thing too, right? That those tokens are burned; they're not going back into the YGG treasury. We're burning them. You're lowering the supply. Which is overall good for everybody, right? That participates, that's a part of YGG. So if you haven't already, obviously, everyone go out and buy that premium pass. Use last season's Gap rewards if you have them, and participate in all of these great quests that we have. Especially if you're a fan of one of these games, right? Go do the premium quests. If another game piques your interest, hop into that one. We've set up these premium quests so they're not necessarily super easy, but they're also not necessarily the hardest quests either, right? We want to give people the opportunity to be able to dive into some new games as well as the games that they love and try it out and try and grind and complete, these difficult quests or these semi-difficult premium quests and get entered in for these really special prizes that we have, for all of these great games. Yeah, on that note too, right? Let's talk a little bit about bounties and we started these in season 5 as a way to reward our community members outside of just, they're not they're bundled in with the gap quest, but they're very different, right? We're essentially rewarding people that are doing, work within the community, whether it's moderation, whether it's content creation. I think we even have some for in real life event stuff as well, right? So Gabby, you want to dive into our bounty program and what's changed from season 5?
Yeah, so bounties are really an emerging and growing part of Gap. And I must say that in the future, they may even be separated from Gap. If you think of a typical Gap quest, they're more for doing gaming tasks, quest in game, which everyone is used to. But there's a lot of tasks that actually we'd want to reward with bounties because these are useful tasks that people are willing to pay for that give you important skills. And I think one day we may actually separate these out of Gap and then make it its just kind of own questing series on the YGG app. So yeah, we've got like one of the exciting stuff is that we have AI bounties. So we're working with different AI protocols that need tasks done. So we have here bounties from we have navigate and I can't see this. The other one is uh, who's the other one giving the AI bounty? That should be Sapien, right? Yeah, that's right. So we have tasks that let you label AI data in exchange for tokens, and then we have creator bounties as well. And what's the other bounties that we're looking at, Fallen?
Yo, Mike check jumping in here. I think we lost Fallen there
Did we
real
lose-
quick. Fallen, are you there?
I'm here. Sorry, for
There you go.
whatever reason, my mic went on mute there. Yeah, like I was saying while I was talking to myself there. Yeah, we have a bunch of bounties. Our game tester program has bounties. Moderation has bounties. Our regional partners, so YGGPH, Ola GG, our Latin partners, have bounties for their communities specifically for them. Pretty much anything that we can kind of put into this future of work that's outside of like game specific quests are going to get bounties. We're really looking to reward our community for the work that they do, right? We have a whole bunch of people that do content creation. We have a whole bunch of people that do moderation. And it's only fair that they get rewarded and also build that online on-chain reputation should they ever, need to go out somewhere else or, want to be a moderator for a different Discord as well, and they want to show that proof. Hey, show them your on-chain soulbound tokens that you've been a moderator for YGG for multiple months, and a lot of our partners will take that into account and say, wow, okay, yeah, we know YGG is legit, and you have those soulbound tokens. You must be a good mod or something.
We even have bounties for being volunteers for events such as for road trip, and then we have a mentor bounty for those that are helping other people. In this case, for Parallel, if you help other people learn more about the game, you get a bounty for that as well. And I think these soulbound token achievements that we give are especially meaningful because these are kind of real proof that you've done like meaningful contributions to the community, that you have skills that you can share, and it's something that you can always point to and say, hey, I helped out with an AI bounty, with a creator bounty, I was a mentor, and these should be kind of valuable credentials in your Web3 online resume.
And that's really the big thing that we've been trying to build here, right, Gabby, is this kind of on-chain reputation that we've been talking to some of our partners about integrating into their games, right? There's a big botting issue, not only obviously in Web3 games, but Web2 games as well. And this is a great way to kind of figure out who's a legitimate player, right? If you have a large, repository of these soulbound tokens for, multiple seasons, it's highly unlikely that you're a bot, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
that's actually a really underrated feature. If you help out with a lot of these bounties, especially if you're part of events. Uh, you are much, much, much more likely to be a human. And I think where rewards are going is that people who are verified humans and do meaningful contributions to the communities should be rewarded more than just clicking on buttons and airdrop farming.
Exactly. So who knows in the future, future airdrop seasons or game stuff, like if we do everything correctly here with our partners, they might be, specifically looking for, soulbound tokens in your wallet. So another great reason, besides just YGG rewards or in-game rewards, to participate in Gap and build your on-chain reputation. Which also kind of ties into, like, we've been making a lot of updates to our app, to our website, right, to really help people start to display their reputation on their profile and build that profile so it's easier to share. Do you want to touch on anything about the website itself or what we've been doing with the app, Gabby?
So for the website, there's a lot of improvements that have been happening. If you can see, we're starting to kind of put more detail on the quests themselves. There's a lot of stuff going on the back end, so that people will be able to submit better. And yeah, just ongoing improvements. There'll be more wallets that you'll be able to connect to later on, and we're generally looking at all of your feedback and just seeing how we can improve it as we go along with each season.
Exactly. Yeah. We definitely encountered some bugs last season that the dev team's working on. Some we're still working on. So please, if you guys are having issues, open a ticket, let us know. We do have a list of issues that we're still trying to work on. I know one of the big issues right now is being able to disconnect wallets. We're still figuring out how to work on that feature. It's a little bit technical because we don't want people to be able to just remove any wallet, or if your account gets whatever hacked or something, we don't want people to be able to disconnect it and then not be able to reconnect it. So bear with us. We're still working on some of these issues there. It's not as simple as just adding them or removing them. And as people can imagine, it's very hard for the dev team to do this for each individual person. So we're trying to figure out a blanket fix for these things versus just, patching it one by one, which just isn't feasible with the amount of people that are flooding into Gap itself.
Yeah, one thing we might do in the near future is have some high level quests that have some prerequisites. After all, what use are all of these badges if they don't allow you some special access, right? So that's something that we're looking into now, and I don't know what it'll look like yet. But for example, it could be like, if you've done any prior quest in Pixels in the previous seasons, then you're eligible for higher level quest in the next season. It could be something like that. Again, we haven't really designed those quests yet, but we're enabling that functionality for future seasons.
Yeah, we call it gated quests, and I can actually talk a little bit here because it's been something that we've been working on for a bit here, especially myself as the quest lead for Pixels. We've been talking about these gated quests where you'll have to have a previous Gap season quest for it. But I know Shout Out Amazing as well for the game testers. She's also been figuring out how we're going to do this for game testing as well. So a little bit of a leak there from Gabby, guys, but gated quests are in the works. It's definitely something the dev teams have been putting together. Not quite sure when they'll be coming, but they're already in the works. They've already been developed to a degree. I know Amazing actually has a whole thing. I'm not going to leak what it is exactly, but game testing is going to get a level up. For sure, a big level up once that gated questing comes out. So if you're not a part of the game testing program, you might want to go figure out how to do that. It's a pretty robust group of players. Again, different levels, as you can see there from the quests, but you get early access to a lot of very, very interesting games, and sometimes you get some pretty cool rewards. I know the game testers have been rewarded with some skins, access to whitelists, for these specific games that they test. So it pays to be a game tester, outside of obviously getting a bounty token and getting YGG tokens. We've got some really, really cool programs within YGG, outside of game testing as well. A lot of stuff for YGG PH, right? That you can be a part of as just any member. And it all starts here on the YGG website, right? If you're interested in any of these things, join the YGG Discord, make a profile on the website. And if you have any questions, hop on in. We have a lot of moderators, a lot of community helpers that are are here to help you walk you through this process, right? Like, don't be intimidated. We're here to help you on this journey. I know some people reach out to me personally, even though I'm on core team, and by no means do I shut people down, right? We're here to help. We've all started somewhere here. I started as a community member myself, right? So by no means feel intimidated that you guys can't come ask questions. No question is silly or stupid. If you have a problem, come ask us. We're here to help. If you think something seems fishy or anything like that, definitely ask as well, right? Scammers are out. We don't want anyone to get hacked or scammed. So if something's fishy or you think something's happening, we have a scam channel as well. Our Discord moderators or community helpers will also help you.
By the way, it's very valuable for these games to know who their most loyal, most passionate fans are. So you should definitely be bragging to the games what kind of YGG badges you've earned in their game. And yeah, I think it'll open up more access, more rewards for these games as well.
Yeah, we've been talking to some of our partners that are already hinting at the idea of looking at some of these badges for future endeavors and updates in their games. So again, we can't dive too much into it and leak too much info, but we're working quite a bit behind the scenes on getting as many different things added for being a part of GAP. Right, GAP is ever evolving. We're not anywhere close to our final form, and there's a lot more to come. So we hope you guys are obviously excited for season 6, but excited for all the future improvements that we're going to make as well. So with that note there, we are a little bit ahead of schedule, but I guess we can start diving into a few questions here. So on that note, our moderators have been adding questions onto this document that we have. So guys, if you have questions about GAP Season 6 or kind of anything YGG related while we have Gabby on the call, please add that in the AMA discussion chat. Our moderators will add that to our sheet, and we will just dive into some of these questions.
So Fallen, I'm gonna be kicking it off here. So we do have a bunch of new members from the YGG community, maybe those who joined us over the road trip, or maybe some new esports players from the different universities that we've been working with. Fallen, let's say for a first timer, it's my first time in YGG, first time I'm hearing about GAP. Can you do a quick walkthrough of the process, how I can get started in earning these XP points? And do I have to buy any NFTs, or how do I download these games?
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's a great question, Sedano. So as you can see with what's on screen there, the YGG website is really your hub for everything to start off in, right? So please avoid Googling it. Join our Discord and go to our official links. We've had people in the past try and spoof it, and we don't want anyone jumping on, a fake website or anything. I think this goes for almost any Web3 project. So it is yieldguild.io. Again, grab the link in our official links there. Thank you, Sedano, for posting that up there. And that's really your hub for starting all your quests, right? So you'll jump on there. It will, on the right there, you can see somebody's already logged in. But if you're not logged in, you'd be able to log in on your profile there. And then it would ask you, if you don't already have a profile, to set one up. We used to in the past have to mint a badge, but you don't need to do that anymore. I think you're still able to do it, but you don't have to do it by any means. You can just set up your profile, you link your wallet, and then to start your GAP journey, you'll essentially see what's happening right there. You just click on that. It will take you to the program page there. And as you scroll down, you'll see the premium season pass. Again, you can buy that if you want and burn your tokens and participate in all those premium quests you see there. But let's say you don't have any YGG tokens, it's not in your budget for whatever reason, you can scroll down again, and then we have all your free quests, right? So if you click on one of those, let's say you're interested in Guild of Guardians, right? That's something you've been playing. You click on that, it will give you a breakdown. So you can see who the quest lead is, you can see the links to the game. So right on your note there of how do I download and get involved, right? You go into their website, we've got your links there. Again, if for whatever reason those links aren't working or you need a little bit more guidance, you can just hop into our Discord. But then below that, you can see all the quests, right? And that quest will show your status, what the rewards are. Again, you click on it, it will actually give you a further breakdown of the quests, right? And then you can click Start the Quest. Start the Quest will essentially enroll you in the quest. And and that puts you on our profile there, and essentially tells us, hey, this person's interested in the quest, but might not necessarily complete it. The next step on that, as you can see, that button changed to open a form. So when you've completed that criteria, as you can see below there, right, you can then open a form, fill out that form, and that will submit your completion criteria for us to then verify, either manually or via API, to make sure that you've actually completed that criteria, so we can reward you with the quest. So after you fill out that form, essentially that button will then change to pending approval, and that means it's been sent over to us to verify on our end. We will then either verify or reject that submission, depending on that. If we verify it, your quest will then say completed, and you will be able to claim your points right away. If it's rejected, you will also get an email. And essentially what happens when you're rejected is that quest reverts back to the open forum. So just because you were rejected one time does not mean that you cannot still complete the quest. It just means for whatever reason your submission criteria didn't meet it. I know for last season when we did Block Lords or Pixels, because we were doing API checks, sometimes people put in their ROM wallet that wasn't linked to the actual game itself. So I can't stress this enough. Really read through that form and make sure the criteria and the data that you're putting in there is correct. Because if we do an API check and for whatever reason you've put in a wallet that isn't associated to your account, we can't check if that data is correct, and you will get a rejection email. In your rejection email, it will, for this season, I'm pretty sure, send you a reasoning behind why your submission was rejected. Again, just go back to that quest page, open the form, resubmit it with the right criteria, and then hopefully you'll get your quest completed. So that's really the walkthrough of how Gap quests work. Again, we're updating the system on the fly. There's FAQs as well at the bottom there. And again, if for whatever reason you keep getting rejected, even though your stuff is correct, you can always reach out to one of the quest helpers or open a ticket, and we will directly help you on the Discord. So I think that's a pretty robust walkthrough, eh, Sedano?
Yeah, I think you nailed it right there. Thanks, Fallen.
Perfect. So let's actually jump into a funny question I saw here. Gabby, when are we collaborating with Jollibee?
Well, let's see. We're talking to different brands. Actually, the brand I want to work with personally is Potato Corner. But yeah, we're always working with different brands. One of the things that we are doing in later seasons is that we are going to be gamifying the rewards so that you're not just getting YGG tokens, you'll actually get a chance to receive some NFTs and tokens from different projects as well. And later on, there will be the opportunity to probably redeem some merch with points as well. So we're experimenting with a lot of these. Just expect a lot of experiments with us so that we have different things to offer. We have tokens, we'll have NFTs, we could have merch, yeah, lots of things under the hood, so that like there's more that you can be doing with what you're earning from the quests.
Possible opportunity to get one of those sweet Asus ROG handhelds maybe in the future.
Very
But yeah.
possible. Yeah, I mean, think of what we're doing. I mean, it is a rewards program, right? And those rewards could be in-game assets. Those rewards could be tokens. Those rewards could be NFTs. Those rewards could be merch. The rewards could be access. So we want to really expand, because if you think about it, this is a reward program for the most dedicated Web3 gamers. And we kind of want to keep on giving you more stuff to do, and more stuff to reward you with.
So it's really community driven, right? If we add a reward one season and it doesn't get a lot of good reception, we might take that off. If we have a reward that people really love, let's say Jollibee vouchers, and those just keep selling out, you could probably bet that we'll have more of those season to season. So again, big leaks here from Gabby that you know, it's not just YGG points, it's not just Web3 assets. There is the opportunity possibly in the future to get some merch, some in real life stuff. So you heard it here. Spread the news, have people join Gap, right? There's this opportunity here, and especially if some Gap quests are gated, right? those gated quests might reward even more points, which might help you get some of those really cool rewards. Or who knows, maybe we'll gate some of those rewards behind some of these tokens, right? Maybe you have to have a specific gap reward if you want a specific reward, right? We haven't not floated that idea off the table yet.
Yeah, let me talk to the community about one of the things that's really important for you to know, which is you've probably been seeing with a lot of these play to airdrop campaigns, which is like how is the sustainability, the long term sustainability of rewards programs. One of the probably very best play to airdrop campaigns that happened recently was Pixels before they launched. They had a really good airdrop campaign, and a lot of people played even when the P2A campaign ended. Uh, People kept playing because they were having fun in the game. The token launched a pretty decent FDV, which meant that people felt that it was worth their time. But there were several components that made it work. One was that they capped the number of people who would be receiving the rewards. And this is pretty important because if you look at the scalability and sustainability of your rewards token, if I have $1 million, for example, in tokens to reward, and there's 10,000 people, then that means I can do, I can do like $100 per person, right? If there's a million people playing and I have $1 million in rewards, and that means I can do $1 per person, and that means that it's very hard. It's actually unsustainable to scale rewards programs where you can promise the same amount per person, no matter how big the rewards get. And this is very bad because you can't scale user base. Also, you don't want to be rewarding people who are doing basic things like maybe just clicking in game. And so the sustainability of rewards programs, especially for those that are worth money, is by having a prize pool format, or basically like X upper number of people or people on the top of the leaderboard getting a larger portion of the rewards. Second is that crypto is very volatile. You know, when we had 3 month seasons of Gap, you would never know coming in what the price was when you started it versus when you ended it. So your token could be the same price, your token could be up 3x, 5x, your token could be down 75%. So that's why, number one, we're doing shorter seasons. We want to be more responsive with the market. And number two, that's why we are doing points conversion, because there's a number of factors that we're actually doing when we convert points to tokens, right? One is that we take a look at how many people are joining, what kind of quests they're doing, what would be the kind of average points per quest there is, and then we're looking at the tokens. How many tokens are we looking at allocating? How much is the price per token? So there's a lot of factors that we're doing, and this is why we've converted to a model of setting the conversion rate at the end of the season. We want to be able to make sure that we have what our design team feels like the right amount of rewards at the end of the season, and that's something that you just cannot determine beforehand. So expect us to do a lot of different experiments on rewards. Again, we would want to reward other things like maybe tokens from other ecosystems. We'd want to start rewarding with NFTs. We'd want some rewards that are redeemable for merch, for example. It could be redeemable for in-game cosmetics. A lot of these will be experiments. And the premium pass is actually a really important part of this, because it's important for us, number one, to have added utility to the YGG token. And we want to give people a reason to either hold their YGG or buy it or not sell it, right? So we've talked about staking, and that's being developed. And the reason why it's taking a while is that it's not simple staking. It's actually gamified staking that goes along with the rewards program. So there's a lot of innovation. There's a lot of experiments that we're doing here.
Yeah, very cool. that was actually one of the other questions that I was going to bring up, right? Was talking about conversion, and you hit the nail on the head there, right? There's a lot of moving parts that people don't realize that goes into this, especially with the sustainability, right? I don't think anybody would want YGG just to push out a lot of tokens and then we can't do any future gap seasons, right? That would defeat the whole purpose. So we're really trying to figure that out. I know I've been bombarded by questions about conversion rates, but again, I'm not going to be able to release that. As Gabby said, those things get tweaked on the fly in terms of that, and that's really not why we have Gap, right? Is if people are overly worried about the conversion, I think you're here for the wrong reason, right? You should be participating in these quests because they're fun and you like the games that you're doing. And we don't have Gap as like a job. We're not here to push that as something that you just need to grind nonstop because you're looking for a paycheck, right? It's really, we want you to do this because you enjoy the games, because you want to participate in the ecosystem that we've set up with our partners here and enjoy your time while you're here, right? Like we're the guild of guilds for a reason. We're not we're not here to just put you to work in that sense.
Yeah. Additional thoughts on my end for that. One is that, of course, there are going to be situations where you can probably expect higher rewards. Leaderboard rewards are those, and especially if you're an exceptional player on the esports side, if you win a tournament, for example, you can probably expect to earn higher rewards, like people like Sequinox, for example, who just won the latest Parallel Invitational. Of course, not everyone can do that. It takes a lot of hard work, practice, dedication to do that. But for those who are skilled, or those who hone different kinds of skills that are rewarded in the market. So this is why we're doing things like creator bounties. We're doing things like AI bounties. We're helping the community develop skills that people will be willing to pay for. So that's why these bounties are paid for with tokens. And so we're giving you skills, and then we're kind of matching you with companies that would need these skills and be willing to pay for them. And I think that can be a more sustainable form of getting paid because you are actually doing valuable work.
Exactly, right? You're building your resume, which you can go out. We've even had people ask, like, can I put this on my real life resume when I go out to apply for a job? And we say if that's something that you think will help you, by all means, right? We might not necessarily have a number as a referral for you to show this company, but if you think showing your moderation status and what you've done will help you get that job, by all means, right? Like that's the whole point of it. Is Gap might not be the full-time job for you, but it might be that springboard to spring you into a full-time job in another place. So I'm going to dive into some more questions. We talked on that. Oh, here's a quick one for you, Gabby. Are we going to see Axie ever return to Gap?
Yeah, so from what we're seeing with the player base, there seems to be a lot of action back with Axie Classic, and especially with Guild Wars. One of the things that we're orienting towards the end of the year is that we'll be doing more quests that are rewarding group or guild-based play. So when we do something Axie related, it's probably going to be around guilds.
Yeah, which is another big leak. We've teased it a few times, but guild and group play is something that we've been cooking up. So you can imagine that we're also cooking up group or guild quests for Gap as well. And I think something to touch on here is that when we say guild, a guild could be as small as, a few people to as large as, thousands of people, right? We really want to see a whole multitude of groups set up. I know we have Voss Troopers, we have NFTX Street, we've got, Axie University. So there's all a multitudes of different guilds and sizes that we want to see participate. And that's something that we're going to be building out very soon in the future as well. Right, Gabby?
That's right. That's exactly right.
So yeah, don't forget to grab your friends, right? It's good to get them situated with Gap now so that when we release these group and guild quests, that you have your group ready to go and to grind out, because I think we'll be having some healthy competition between guilds. Don't discredit us when it comes to, making some friendly competition between these guilds for leaderboards or other things.
Yeah. So I guess that's the leak for the rest of the year. We are going to be making group-based or guild-based quests, and we'll probably be adding prize pool rewards to those quests.
Exactly, and it will be up to the guilds to distribute those rewards evenly between their players. We're just gonna give give the guilds the decision on how they want to reward each person. But yeah, there's your leak for the year, the big leak on what YGG is working on.
Following Gabby, I have something to add to that, right? So, talking about group quests and guild versus guild. Just very recently in the Manila road trip, right? We've seen a couple of university esports teams show up. And what's happening is that all of these new teams who are traditionally from Web 2, right? They play Valorant, they play Mobile Legends. Now they're forming sub teams or like Team A, Team B, Team C groups in their same roster, but are specifically for Web 3 games. And we've seen them, they've played Arena of Faith, they've played Rumble Racing Star, they've been playing Cypher. And yeah, shout out to those guys who are joining us for the first time. So super exciting because now the YGG guild partners are going to be going up against Web 2 gamers.
Yeah, that's right. That's really cool to see. And we do want to really invite more esports teams, more Web2 gamers, and there's really a home for you with us with YGG and Web3.
Yeah, shout out the work that Cairo's been doing too. I think people saw last season that we had a gap quest specifically tailored to one of the big esports teams in Call of Duty there. So we're starting to pull in these really big names from the traditional esports space into the Web3 space, and the line is starting to be blurred. So that's another big thing, right? We've got some really talented people, especially playing parallel, right? We're going to see some big names, some big teams come on, and possibly try and poach some of our high quality players for some of their esports teams, which I don't think is probably a bad idea. It's that friendly competition, right? And if one of our players gets pulled into these huge organizations, right, that's a win-win for not only them but YGG.
I'm not sure I'd like that, honestly.
Once YGG, only YGG.
Pro players beware.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking. Oh wow, we've got a whole lot of quests here. Will we see some OG games come back? So I think we touched on that with Axie there. We are talking about LOK and stuff like that. We're just figuring out how we balance, as Gabby said, all of these quests, because it does take a lot of work to create them, to structure them, and all of that. So more and more quests means more and more back end for us. And right now the workload is there. That's one of the reasons why we've been shifting to API checks, is it really reduces that manual labor of checking every submission. I'm sure everyone can imagine how tedious it is for us, especially for Pixels, right? We have like over 5,000 submissions to go through every submission and look or whether or not that's legit versus just running an API check. So as we flush that out, you can obviously we'll up the number of quests, as you can see with season 6 here, but we're still trying to figure out where the healthy balance is. Again, maybe we'll have a bunch more bounties in regards to people coming and helping us vet some of these submissions. We're still trying to figure that out, where the happy balance is. Okay, what else do we have? Is there a possibility for a Founders Coin gap multiplier? Gabby, have you
really like the idea? Yeah. So yeah, let's suggest that to the product team. I think that's actually a really great idea.
There, another possible leak there. So if you don't have a Founders Coin, maybe it's time to look at that. And we have given that away. We've given away a few Founders Coins for people that are doing exceptional things within the community. Wow, lots of questions coming in.
I have one here falling right on the screen. It's they're asking, when will the end of Gap Season 6 be?
That's great. So I've actually linked that in the event. If you guys look in the Discord, we do have an event running specifically just called Gap Season 6. Right now we're slated to end Gap Season August 21st is what we're aiming for. Obviously that could be extended. If we have some issues, or if submissions aren't going correct, just like we did for season 5 there. But right now, everybody mark it in your calendar. The 21st of August is what we're aiming for the end of Gap. Again, we will do ample announcements week or two, a day or two before, to let people know that Gap is ending, get your submissions in. But August 21st is what we're aiming for. Great question, Sedano. We've already answered what rewards you might get instead of YGG points or tokens, or what you can convert it. Another question here, Gabby, is do we have any plans for the Sword or Shield NFTs that we released a while back? I think this kind of ties into the Founders Coin, right? We're going to think of ways for our previous NFTs to be added, whether it's a multiplier, maybe it's, dedicated quests.
It's a possibility. I think it's something for our product team to play with, but it's definitely a possibility. We'd probably add functionality for founders going first, but it's very possible that we would do it for Sword and Shield as well.
Yeah, I don't think we're rolling anything off of the table.
Yeah.
If it's a good idea and it's something that our community is going to enjoy and like, and we can make something fun with it, then we're going to roll it in. Obviously, we have to kind of prioritize certain things. I think everyone would rather see, staking or this, specific points conversion into cool merch or stuff before some of these other things. But again, right, our community is open to let us know, right? If you guys really want something, be vocal about it in the Discord, right? Get riled up. Let us know that, hey, no, we really want to see this feature over this one, right? And then obviously we pass that feedback back to the dev team and say, hey, look, our community is going crazy for this thing. Maybe we should bump it up the totem pole of priorities. Okay. More quests flooding in. Thank you to our moderators. Shout out to our mods for helping me flood through these questions here. One of the backbone of our community is our great moderation team. Can more quests be added throughout the season? No. So once quests are locked in for the season, we generally don't add anymore, at least to Gap itself. We have been floating around the idea of different super quests, or even what we've been calling evergreen quests, which is quests that would sit on the website itself. Again, we have got a lot of ideas, as you can tell. It doesn't mean that they'll be implemented anytime soon. But yeah, so we will not be adding quests mid-season. So the structure is there. That's what you're seeing now. If you have suggestions for quests, you can add them and they might show up the next season. But the quests you see right now are the quests you're going to get. And that's the other reason why we shifted to this one month gap season, is it allows us to really pivot. If we miss a quest that should be there, that allows us to add it instead of having to wait a whole 3 months for it to show up again. Sedano, if you see any other crazy questions, feel free to, just hop in there. I'm just going through here.
All right, I'll do that.
Here's another question I've been seeing quite a bit. So for our guild-related Pixels quests, the guild are there. A lot of people are asking if it has to be a YGG-specific guild. And the answer to that is no. As long as you're part of any guild in Pixels and you own a shard, you can participate. And that's one of our big things is... it's why YGG actually doesn't have a guild in Pixels itself. We opted out of that because we really want to highlight every guild and form relationships with as many guilds as possible. We don't want to monopolize on that. So obviously I have some bias towards TIFF and C3 guilds I'm a part of, and I would love to see you guys buy shards for that. But hey, if you can't afford buying some of those, I know those shards are a little bit more expensive. If you can't afford it, buy one of the cheapest ones and be a part of that guild. And complete that quest, right? The whole idea is to drive you to play with other people within Pixels itself. We are at 12. Oh, I didn't even notice that. So we will wrap it up there. Gabby, Sedano, any closing thoughts that you want to part with the community here?
Yeah, so we want to see the most number of people in Gap this season. So really looking forward to see you there. Try everything out. Give us your comments. Show the games how strong we are as a unified YGG community, the Guild of Guilds. We really want to see you there so that we can have even better Gap quests, more rewards next season. And we are asking the games that we partner with for additional rewards. And this typically funds the premium quest that you're seeing. So yeah, do talk to the games that you're playing and tell them that you want to see them in Gap next season.
Exactly, right? Don't necessarily go in and spam everyone to join Gap as much as we'd love that. Other games and partners might get a little upset, but definitely let people know that Gap is happening. That's something that I've heard from the other communities there, is there's a lot of people that are outside of YGG that don't necessarily know that Gap is happening. So if you go join these games Discords and just say, hey, like, this is going on, I'll help you, or come participate with us, goes a long way, right? As Gabby said, the more people that come join us, the bigger the rewards, the more incentive our partners have to help facilitate, bigger and bigger Gap quests. So help us get the word out. Bring your friends, bring your family, bring your community. I know with Axie, back in the day, we had whole communities participating in scholarships. We'd love to see that happen for Gap as well, right? Maybe these communities even start their own guilds once we have the guilding features out. But yeah, let the world know that Gap is happening. Bring as many people in so that we can have, bigger and better things. Gap is evolving, Gap is growing, and we appreciate all the support that the community is giving us, over these multitude of years. YGG is continuing to evolve and grow, and we're not going anywhere, right? We're getting bigger and bigger in real life events with the roadshow, right? With what we're going to be doing in Manila, and we're also floating the idea of, having these IRL events in other places, not just the Philippines, right? I'd love to have one here in North America where I'm situated. So the more people that we have, the more hype that we have surrounding it, and the more the community is vocal to us that they want stuff like this, we will do our darndest to make sure that these things happen. So on that note, thank you everybody for joining us. We will have this recorded, right, Sedano, where we'll be posting it on all our socials. So if a friend missed it, or you want to snip some screenshots of some leaks that we put out here, and you want to share it on X or wherever, please do so. And on that note, together we play. Cheers.
Cheers, guys. See ya. And before we go, Gabby, we did do a quick announcement on the upcoming YGG Play Summit. So yeah, what can we expect?
Yeah, so we announced the save the date for YGG Play Summit November 18th to 23rd at BGC in Manila this November. So we hope to see you there. We have some big announcements related to it this week, but we're going to have a conference. We're going to have a really big expo. You're going to see the latest games. There are going to be some esports tournaments, some large cosplay tournaments as well in prize pools. So I think this is going to be the most exciting one yet, and you will definitely not regret going to Manila for the biggest consumer Web3 gaming event this year.
All right, so guys, definitely see you, and watch out for the launch of early bird tickets that's happening really soon. So don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, and yeah, a lot of exciting surprises coming up real soon. So Fallen, Gabby, thank you so much, and see you guys in the metaverse. Cheers, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Peace out.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Everyone again. Welcome to YGG Web3 Games Summit 2023.
I do it my way. I do it my way. 300 million plays, I did it all independent. Go take your bad vibes, go mind your business. Right page, front page, I'll be there.
I hope everyone is excited as I am, as YGG is once again bringing the hottest up-and-coming games together with leading industry personalities from across the globe to the hub of the Web3 gaming adoption, the Philippines.
Let's go! Let's go! Come on, come on, come on, eyes on me. Let's go! Let's go! This is how we do it. Let's go! Check it out. All eyes on me. Let's go!
It's clear that as we enter a new cycle, Philippines will remain the beating heart of Web3 gaming.
Passion can come and go, but to be there to show up every day, even when you don't feel like it. So I think it's really that. It's grit and passion together.
Everybody, and welcome to day 2 of the YGG Web3 Game Summit 2023.
So if you think it's a get-rich-quick scheme, it's not. It takes, just like any other job, it takes a lot of work to be able to present it, to be able to show it to people, and to be able to bring value to the table.
You know, there's no job too small. I always believe that. So no matter how small your contribution is, it affects the ecosystem.
Just do not stop, right? Just do not stop. Just keep creating. Just keep consuming. Keep overflowing your love and your knowledge to everyone around you. And I think that's a very good tip for students.
I really believe that having a great career is a matter of luck, but definitely hard work on your part, diligence and the continuous improvement.
We have absolutely loved being in the Philippines so far. Everybody is so awesome, and you guys, the gamers of the Philippines, are the best gamers in the world that we've seen so far. Honestly, it's the truth.
It's an honor to be here today to witness the Zeno Pro Tour Manila 2023, ang pinakamalaking Wave 3 sports tournament sa bansa ngayong taon.